Not coming off.
All right. Among our first set of games in prime time tonight, Jackson State, the 16th seed, takes on the top seed in the West, Arizona. In a game against Washington State on February the 12th, Arizona center Lauren Woods injured his back and missed the last 6 games of the season. Tests done on Tuesday did not yield positive results for Lute Olson and the Wildcats.
Lauren will not be available for us during the tournament. That's the bad news. The good news is that he'll be fine with some rest.
The Wildcats will certainly miss Woods, the Pac-10's leading shot blocker. Still, the coach is optimistic.
You know, we've faced this for the last month. It doesn't do you any good to talk about the people that aren't there. We obviously were hoping that the word coming out today was going to be good news for us, but we were prepared for whatever the word was.
The question is, Clark, can Arizona hold its own without Lauren Woods?
With Woods healthy, they would have been my odds-on favorite to win it. Without him, they still have got an excellent chance to be in Indianapolis April 3rd.
All right, Clark, a timeout here, and the road to the Final Four will continue in a moment. That time, first action of the first round. Coming up, some of you will go to Minneapolis for the Midwest matchup between Creighton and Auburn. The rest of you will head to Cleveland for St. Bonaventure against Kentucky. Those of you slated to see Indiana State take on Texas or Winthrop against Oklahoma in the West, we will get you to those tips at 12:40. Meanwhile, enjoy the games, everyone, here on CBS.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Oldsmobile, the Delta Faucet Company, Wendy's Crispy Chicken Nuggets, and by Bud Light.
Cold, rainy day in Cleveland, Ohio, we welcome you to the Cleveland State University Convocation Center for first-round action of the Midwest Regional. The 12th seed Bonnies of St. Bonaventure at 21-9 take on the 5th seed Kentucky Wildcats at 22-9. And of course, this Midwest region has the #1 seeded Michigan State Spartans, who will play later tonight against Valparaiso. And a pleasant good morning and good afternoon wherever you may be. Kevin Harlan alongside John Sunvold. Tremendous excitement here in Cleveland, where the Kentucky Wildcats a bit tempered right now. One of their star players, Desmond Allison, with a DUI charge earlier in the week, and John suspended indefinitely.
Well, what it does, it takes away a starter, and now you're down to 9 players. More importantly, you take away 8 points from a ball club that has struggled scoring. But before you cry for Big Blue, you got to talk about the man in the middle. Jamal McGlure has progressed as one of the best players in college basketball in the paint. First team All-SEC, defensively outstanding. He will change St. Bonaventure how they play.
And the Bonnies got an at-large berth, and their key player is guard Tim Wynn.
Well, Tim Wynn is a control factor for St. Bonnie. Offensively and defensively, he is a big player, but he's only 5'11". Offensively, he likes to push it. He can shoot it. Defensively, he will get in your face. Led the A-10 in steals.
Lineups for the Bonnies: Von Passen, Cyrus, Messiah Capers, Prato, and Tim Wynn. And for Kentucky, Prince, Kamara, McGlure, the freshman Bogans, and Saul Smith, the coach's son. Jim Barron is the coach of St. Bonaventure. He was a point guard for the team back in the 70s. On that 77 ball club, he took them to an NIT title. And Tubby Smith, in the midst of his 3rd season at Kentucky, his first year, of course, they won the national championship. And now Tubby Smith brings his 5th seed Wildcats in against the Bonnies of St. Bonaventure today. Kentucky, first 8 games, John, 4 up and 4 down. As you take a look at our officials today, Rick Hartzell, Joe Pescatelli, and Mike Thibodeau. And then Kentucky, after beginning the season 4 up and 4 down, won 18 of their next 23 games.
Well, they put in young man Mr. Bogans, and Keith Bogans, when he was added to the lineup, added offense. This is a defensive-oriented team, #1 in the SEC, only allowing 62 points a ball game. Outstanding, only allow opponents 39% from the field. St. Bonaventure, also an outstanding defensive team. We'll see which one can put the points on the board.
The Bonnies have it.
Straight man-to-man by the Wildcats.
Tim Wynn with the ball right now, picked up by Saul Smith of Kentucky.
Kevin, what we'll have to watch for with Kentucky if they'll play a little more zone with only 9 players.
Knocked away. Patricio Prato inside from Argentina was the intended recipient. 14 seconds to shoot, opening seconds of this first-round game here at the Midwest Regional in Cleveland, Ohio. It's Prato with the move inside, working on Prince, and outside for Messiah Capers with the miss. And here comes Kentucky with Saul Smith leading the way.
And Kentucky will look to try to get easy baskets early. And the reason is, again, they have struggled offensively.
And a tremendous difference between these two. An NCAA record, 41st NCAA tournament berth for the Wildcats.
You take a look at the titles, 7. Last one being in 1998. Tubby's first year.
And for the Bonnies, they last appeared in the tournament back in 1978, losing to Penn in the first round. And there's a turnover. And Kentucky will come back the other way.
And when you're playing against a name like Kentucky, Kevin, you want to get off to a good start. You want to knock in your first few shots, limit your turnovers. St. Bonaventure missed the first jump shot turnover already.
Tim Wynn battling Smith, and here comes Camaro. Getting off to Jamal McGlure from Toronto, Ontario. And here comes Keyshawn Prince.
Prince is the X factor for Kentucky. If they can get 15 to 16 points, 7 or 8 rebounds. Much stronger team.
McGlure with a hook inside, which will not go. The rebound yanked off by Caswell Cyrus, another Toronto, Ontario native. And here come the Bonnies, an at-large berth for them and an at-large berth for the Kentucky Wildcats out of the Southeastern Conference. Von Pasten, listen.
Well, Von Pasten, one of the most improved players for St. Bonaventure. More physical than he used to be. Has developed what you just saw, the little baby hook.
And Von Pasten picks up a foul right there. He is a junior from Holland.
Probably the key to the improvement of this ball club from a year ago to this year and why they're in the NCAA tournament. Been able to score the ball down low. Solid defender. Rebounder.
Keith Bogans inbounds to Saul Smith.
Bonnie's in a 2-3 zone from the underneath out of bounds.
And Bogans, the freshman, missing outside. He's from Hyattsville, Alabama. Saved on the side. Bogans driving. And outside to a wide open Prince for 3.
Cannot allow Kentucky to get offensive rebounds. St. Bonaventure, if there's a miss, have to make sure they allow Kentucky the one look.
Tim Wynn from Niagara Falls, New York. And here is Patricio Prato. Caswell Cyrus working inside on McGlure. And caught by Bogans.
And you saw the double team by Prince. Prince is 6'9", though he is slender.
And picked up by Wynn, racing to the other end, and kind of got tangled up in himself, but keeps it alive for St. Bonaventure. Launching a 3.
Well, you notice the speed of Tim Wynn.
Nice move inside by Messiah Capers, who gets it to fall.
Bonnie's not intimidated early. Look comfortable.
And have the 1-point lead. Keyshawn Prince, a sophomore from Compton, California, hitting Keith Bogans, the freshman, looking inside for McGlure. Bogans driving inside. He has the build of a football player, so to see him plow is no surprise.
Yeah, it goes to about 205, 210, 6'5" body. Really wants the basketball.
And just over 3 minutes. Coming up next, it'll be Indiana against Texas. And then Winthrop make it Indiana State against Texas and Winthrop against Oklahoma.
Indiana State, first time since Larry Bird going against Chris Mim and company from Longhorn State.
And Patricio Prato, the freshman from Cordoba, Argentina. There's a pass inside. McGlure from Saul Smith converting for 2 in the foul. Ball inside on St. Bonaventure.
Can't allow McGlure to establish a low post position that close to the basket. What McGlure's been able to do this year. Take a look at Prada knocking in the long jump shot. Solid shooter. They can get some threes from him. A salute to the Bonnies in the stand. Young man from Argentina, as you mentioned.
Von Passen just picked up the foul, and here you take a look at 6'10" senior Jamal McGlure, the leading scorer and leading rebounder on the team.
And what he has done better this year than a year ago is establish his offensive game down low. You must double team him or he'll score. And his passing ability out of the double team. Not only just kicks it back to the passer, but can find the open man.
9 at 7 so far. Both teams have taken
Likes a fadeaway.
6 shots, and here's the fadeaway missed by Cyrus. Inside, David Messiah Capers, the senior from New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Well, Messiah Capers already 2 offensive rebounds and 2 putbacks. We saw Cyrus, who likes the fadeaway when he gets it on the baseline.
And Bogans with the miss. Rebound by Von Passen. Here once again comes 5'11" Tim Wynn, one of the best under 6-foot players in the country, and nails a 3.
That's what he does. Likes to push if he can find something for himself or his teammates. All-time leader in 3-point shooting. Makes at St. Bonaventure.
And the Bonnies on top, 12-7. Bogans finding Kamara, and outside for Prince for 3. Nails another one.
And change the defense again. Back to the 2-3 zone. They've been in a man-to-man the whole time, except for the underneath out of bounds. If they're in a zone, they've got to make sure they find Bogans or Prince.
Both teams have hit 2 threes to begin the game. The Bonnies with the ball and up by 2 with a little more than 5 minutes gone here in the first half in the first round of the Midwest region. Win again, launching to 3, and fought for inside. Cyrus was battling McGlure. Timeout taken. St. Bonaventure has led by as many as 5. Their lead now at 2. Bonnies of St. Bonaventure led by 5, now up by 2. Jim Barron is their coach. They began the season 12-2, finished 8-3 in a record of 21-9.
Well, you talk about that 12th win. Buzzer beater over Temple at home. J.R. Bremer knocked it in from the right corner, and that right there propelled them on to what a great season they've had.
St. Bonaventure with their best season since 1978. They've been a hot 3-point shooting team, which has already flexed its muscles here in this one as Prado takes it across the lane for 2, and the Bonnie lead is at 4.
Off the dribble.
Indiana State against Texas coming up, and Winthrop, the 14th seed, against number 3 seed Oklahoma. And a shove inside, and a foul is called on Kentucky, and it goes on McGlure for the first time. As you take a look at Jim Barron, 8th season from Brooklyn, New York, and Auburn with an early lead on Creighton.
Well, blue-collar worker, Jim Barron. It's a blue-collar team. Hard work. Last time down, Prado beat Prince off the dribble. And Kentucky had a hard time in the SEC semifinal with Arkansas off the dribble.
J.R. Bremer and Robert Cheeks have checked in for the first time for the Bonnies. And it looked like Caswell Cyrus whacked in the eye. I don't know if he lost a contact or what, but you can see him rubbing it right there with his Bonnie team up by 4, 14-10. The Bonnies have started this game 50% from the field. Kentucky 57% from the floor.
Well, Cyrus coming off a bout with the flu, where he struggled in the A-10 tournament. Championship game wasn't much of a game with him on the sideline for a while against Temple.
Win inside, tries to carve out some room and finds it again, squeezing the trigger, and this is the biggest lead for St. Bonaventure.
Again, the Bonnies having no problem taking this Kentucky team off the dribble, getting shots inside, point blank at the rim.
And how do you like Bonnie defense today?
Well, right now they're playing with more passion and more emotion than this Wildcat team. We expected Kentucky to come out with the loss of Allison and be ready and playing. That will get them going.
Jules Kamara from Dakar, Senegal, puts it down with a nice feed from the perimeter. Very athletic Kentucky team.
Well, and what a whole team. They will stretch across when they played that 2-3 zone for a couple of possessions. You talk about Kamara comes in. He's 6'11". You talk about Prince at 6'9", and you talk about McGlure at 6'10". So they are long inside.
Here's the 6'9" Cyrus putting it up and down over the 6'10" McGlure. And the Bonnies again by 6.
Talked about Cyrus's ability on the block to shoot the fadeaway. Only 6'9", got about 106-inch wingspan. Loves a little fadeaway.
With the drive, and coming up next again, first round games as the 12th seed Indiana State. Johnny just said it, not since Larry Bird have they been to the big tournament against 5th seed Texas with the great center Chris Smith.
Yeah, outstanding. Along with Gabe Monecki, powerful inside. That second game you saw down below, Oklahoma, another physical team out of the Big 12.
With Nahara.
Eduardo will have a Mexican contingent this afternoon.
It's Bogans looking inside. Kamara got it from McGlure, and then sidesteps the defender, feeding McGlure inside, and a whistle and a foul on St. Bonaventure.
Well, sometimes you need a play to get yourself going in a ball game. And from the sideline out of bounds, somebody picked up Kamara, and high above the rim. Jewell is one of those players that slowly learning the ball games. 10th start on the year now, but Allison is out.
One of the great stories about McGlure, who is at the free throw line right now, is he actually tested pro basketball waters last May. In fact, he paid his way to camps, didn't get an agent, went out, worked out on his own, but decided it wasn't right. That was the word he got from various sources, and decided to come back for his senior year at Kentucky.
Well, always known as a defender, we talked about earlier, now more of an offensive player. You almost have to double team him. He makes you inside, and where he's become better again is passing out of the double team. He finds open teammates much better than he did last year or even earlier this season.
Very well, a great rebound.
Yeah, it really is.
12 and a half to play in the half, and St. Bonaventure, they've led by as many as 6, up now by 5.
3-2 zone with Prince at 6'9" on the top of it. Again, long down low, athletic enough.
Driving is J.R. Bremer, feeding to win, dancing with Bogan. Shot clock at 5. Cross-court feed, caught by Bremer for 3.
Solid screen by Cyrus up top. He screened the top guy on the zone defense, allowed Bremer for the open shoot.
Bremer, one of the top 6 men in the Atlantic 10 Conference, the home of the Bonnies, from Olean, New York, a snowy southwestern New York town. And here's Prince in a great steal right here, picked up by the sophomore. Bremer sails in, rejected on the play by Prince.
In New York, we'll keep you updated on the game that you've been watching. But for those of you slated to see action in Salt Lake City, the 12th seed in the West, Indiana State against 5th seed Texas, we'll send you to your game. Those of you headed for Tucson, where 14th seed Winthrop will take on the 3rd seed Oklahoma, your game is about to begin, and we'll send you to your respective games right after this.
Welcome to the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City. It's that time again. Round 1 of the West region. And the first game of the day matches Texas against Indiana State, the 12th seed against number 5. And it was on this floor 21 years ago. Larry Bird and Indiana State battled Magic Johnson and Michigan State for the national title. A game that elevated this tournament to another level. And today, Indiana State returns to this building with the hope of making their own mark on this tournament. Well, that was then. This is now. We look at the brackets in the West. Texas and Indiana State, LSU, Southeast Missouri State. Tonight, the number 1 seed, Arizona Wildcats, taking on Jackson State. And later, it's Jerry Tarkanian's return as the Bulldogs take on Wisconsin. Just moments ago, Indiana State focused on the job ahead.
Players that had a chance and didn't get what we are today. This is going to be 40 minutes out of our lives. We just got to make the most of it. Can't say we're going to win. The only thing we can promise is that we're going to play hard. Defense, offense. All we can promise to each other is that we're going to go hard.
It's play,
right?
man.
Hey, man. 40 minutes now. It's just 40 minutes.
All right, we got 3 teams on this team. Let's not.
Hi, everybody. Craig Bolerjack along with Barry Booker, and welcome into Salt Lake City, the Huntsman Center. They will play tough. Indiana State will play it tough. 22-9 on the season. Missouri Valley Conference champions, Barry, for the first time since that national title run with Larry Bird back in 78 and 79. But they've got to get past a very physical, a very dominant big team in Texas, and that means they have to take on the 7-footer Chris Mihm.
Chris Mihm, the All-American from Texas, very difficult to handle down low. Does a nice job inside, but he's not just a big body down low. He can step out away from the basket, passes it well, so he's difficult to double team, and shoots the ball very well from outside. Indiana State's got their hands full down low.
Well, the head coach of Indiana State, Royce Waltman, in his 3rd year. First 21 season since that title run back in 1979. Let's set the lineups for you this afternoon for the Sycamores. Matt Wren, Brian Geeson, Kevin Block, Nate Green, and Michael Minzer. And for Texas, they will counter with Chris Owens, the big fella, the All-American Chris Mim, along with Darren Kelly, Ivan Wagner, and William Clay. And the head coach for Texas is Rick Barnes in his 2nd season and led the Longhorns, Barry, through one of the top 10 toughest schedules in all of college basketball. The Longhorns survived 23-8, 13-3 in the Big 12. We take a look at today's officials: Larry Rose, Bernard Clinton, and Fran Conley.
Texas laying that difficult schedule. They are battle-tested and ready for this NCAA tournament.
Well, the tip controlled by Block of Indiana State. Texas 7-2 in first-round games since the field expanded to 64 back in 1985. However, Rick Barnes has had his trouble in those first-round games. 1-6 in first-round games of the tournament. Turnover. Kelly comes back, squares up, shot off the iron, and the rebound goes to the Sycamores.
Indiana State a little bit undersized, but they're led by their excellent wing player, Nate Green, number 4, the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year.
He has the ball, quickly shoots it up, short, the left-hander. Rebound pulled in by Matt Wren, and a whistle.
Green is kind of a slasher to the basket, leads this team in assists with over 4 per game, which is outstanding for a wing player. Does a great job setting up his teammates.
Chris Owens picks up the foul. Nice save. Picked up in the backcourt. Block over and back. It was touched, so a turnover. Texas will have it at midcourt.
Texas ball.
Exciting to have this NCAA tournament underway, and it appears that the players are a little bit nervous as well as we get into this ball game.
Texas, the 5th seed. Indiana State, number 12. Texas with the number 15 ranking, Barry, and their highest in Texas history. Boy, they got there the hard way. Tough schedule for Rick Barnes. Mim, who can shoot it from outside, off the rim, and another rebound pulled down by Indiana State. Nate Green.
Good defense by Brian Geeson on the last trip for Indiana State. Forced Mim in a difficult shot.
Patience by the Sycamores on the wing. Pull-up jumper. Keelan Block. So Cole shooting here to start this game at the West Region. Mim. Now you think of a 7-footer who's going to play out on the low block, but Barry, he basically can come up top as Kelly knocks down the first bucket of this game. Darren Kelly, a junior out of Forestville, Maryland.
And Mim moves so well that Texas can run because he can run. They can slash to the basket because Mim can step away, and you have to respect him and guard him out away from the basket because he shoots it so well.
Wide open shot, good look. Matt Wren off the mark, rebound, and the put back, fell off the back iron by Geeson. Fresh 35 on the shot clock for Sycamores. Nice feed baseline, stolen, but out of bounds Texas, so Indiana State will have it.
Well, they can't get any shots down, but they're doing a nice job offensive rebounding, getting multiple opportunities.
In the ball game for Texas is Gabe Muneke. He usually starts for Rick Barnes as a three-pointer goes down for Minzer. But Muneke told Barnes yesterday, listen, coach, I want to take a look and get the feel early for this game, and then I'll come off the bench. That's what you call unselfish.
Senior leadership from Gabe Muneke of Texas.
Indiana State with the 3-2 lead. Jump shot baseline. Sweet, and down it goes as Gabe Muneke comes in with instant offense out of Houston, Texas. Shoots 52% from the floor, and that is his spot.
Indiana State and Texas both playing man-to-man defense and doing a nice job with it. Indiana State spreading the court well, creating driving lanes.
Wren on the dribble drive and a whistle.
It's Muneke playing good defense. Hit the shot on the other end and comes up with a good defensive play there to force that travel violation.
Walking the ball up is Wagner. And now to Clay. They feed it to Mim. Fade away, short. Boy, up high is Nate Green. 6'5", Barry, can he rebound?
He is
Wow.
a very, very good rebounder.
Takes it all the way and lays it up past the fingertips of the 7-footer Chris Mims. Clay the other way. Pace beginning to pick up as Clay dishes off the window. Clay, a senior out of Bryan, Texas.
Texas loves to run. They are a high-scoring ball club and love to get up and down.
Boy, right now things warming up. Matt Wren hits the bottom of the twine. He's out of Sellersburg, Indiana. Second team, all Missouri Valley Conference. Matt Wren averaging just under 11 points a game. So after a slow start, back and forth.
And Indiana State playing man-to-man defense, really sagging in, trying to give help inside to keep the ball from going into Chris Mims.
Foul before the shot. Texas again showing patience, Barry, as they work it down to about 15 before they look for the shot. And now a timeout. 15:59 left here in the first half. Indiana State up on Texas by 1. Welcome back into Salt Lake City, Utah, the Huntsman Center, first round of the West region. And Indiana State leading Texas by 1. There's the All-American, Chris Mims, 0 for 2, Barry, to start this game. His season average impressive, double-double and nearly 3 blocks a game.
And maybe playing with a little bit of a heavy heart. Chris Mims' grandmother passed away on Tuesday, and so he's probably thinking about that.
They try to feed the big fella, picked off by Nate Green. Indiana State playing control offense. They push it down. Now Green slices down through Clay and Mims. And Green with his second bucket with the left hand.
Slick drive to the basket. That's what Nate Green can do. He is an excellent penetrator. Drives to the basket very well.
Kelly on the wing. Drives, hangs, fires. Too strong. Mims keeps the ball alive. Benecki with a rebound. Pumps it up, off the window, and good. So Gabe Benecki, who's come in off the bench after sitting the first couple of minutes with 2 buckets.
Indiana State defensively really focused on keeping the ball away from Chris Mims inside. All of the players sagging in to concentrate on Mims.
Ball kicked. Out of bounds. We've played nearly 5 minutes. It'll be Texas basketball. Texas finished up 13-3 in the Big 12. They lost to Oklahoma in the Big 12 postseason tournament in Kansas City. They basically had their lunch bucket handed to them in the semis, 81-65. Kelly, boy, tough pass across the court from the corner and right down the pipe. Ivan Wagner hits the 3 ball.
Wagner, a very good three-point shooter, over 40% on the season.
Turnover. This is one thing Indiana State can ill afford against Texas, and that's basically destroy themselves. But on the season, Barry, they've only averaged 13 turnovers, so they rarely beat themselves. Second in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Well, they usually have 3 or 4 guys on the court that handle the basketball like a point guard. So Indiana State takes care of the ball very well.
Already with 5 turnovers. Indiana State only 1 for Texas. Wagner, another good look. Hard off the rim. Wren the rebound.
Indiana State doing a really nice job on the backboards against this big physical Texas club.
Wren hands it off to Minzer. Wren, good look. Wide open jump shot. Wren on the board now with 2 buckets, 4 points.
He's had that wing jumper several times, has Wren, and able to knock that one out.
11 all as Kelly picks his spot. Whistle.
Indiana State foul number 5.
Minzer picks up the foul, and that will send Kelly to the line to shoot 2.
Darren Kelly, another very good three-point shooter for Texas, and when they shoot it well from the perimeter with the inside game that they have with the M&M boys, Mims and Benecki down low, Texas is almost impossible to handle.
Kelly, 72% shooter, makes his first.
Reporting in now for Indiana State, number 40, Matt Borman.
Substitution for Indiana State, Matt Borman. Broerman checks in, number 40, a freshman out of Hamilton, Ohio. Kelly with another. Off the rim, and Broerman with the rebound.
Indiana State continuing to do the job on the backboards, holding Texas down in the rebounding area.
Well, ISU's been hot from the floor. They made their last 5 field goals. Just as I say that, they miss. Nice save by Block. Still loose, picked up by Clay of Texas.
You can see Indiana State a very scrappy ball club.
Monecki.
3 seconds inside. Mim trying to set up and get position down low. Texas has not done a very good job getting the basketball in there to him. He has a big height advantage down low, a 5-inch size advantage, but they haven't taken it inside very well.
That's the second turnover for Texas, as now the Longhorns start to put some pressure on Indiana State. Good look by Wren, in and out. Both teams started shaky, but now under control. We played 7 minutes. Mim inside. Bodies collide, no whistle, and then off the rim to Indiana State.
Another good shot opportunity from Mim, but not able to convert once again down low.
Mim 0 for 3.
Come on, man.
And a whistle on the drive by Wren. And Monecki picks up the foul. That'll be his first and the second team foul. You know, you mentioned about the passing of his grandmother. He was very close to her. It was unexpected on Tuesday. Rick Barnes says he talked to Mim, said, what would you like to do? Talked to the parents. They said he wants to play, but you still have to wonder.
Yeah,
very close, tough to deal with.
It has to be very distracting, of course, wondering what's going on with the family back at home. And Texas is going to need Mim to get rolling today if they're going to win this ball game. Indiana State really playing well early.
Takes a break at the 12.5-minute mark. Ball knocked away, picked up by Texas. Wagner pushing the tempo.
Great shot block by Owens.
Down the baseline, couldn't get it to go. Rebound Nate Green, the Missouri Valley Player of the Year, also the Missouri Valley Defensive Player of the Year. Nice shot down low, blocked away. Monecki has been a big factor since he came off the bench for Rick Barnes. Texas with the 1-point lead.
These big 6'7", 6'8" bodies gave Monecki and Chris Owens doing a nice job swatting shots away as Indiana State has been able to drive to the basket.
Wagner from the corner. In and out. Had a good look. Broerman with the rebound. Green walks it up. Wren holds with 24 on the shot. Nate Green. Monecki had it, lost it. Bounce pass inside, body contact. The bucket goes down by Abasi Thompson.
Indiana State doing great forward work here early. Abasi Thompson ended up with the shot as he kept it alive, knocked it away from Monecki, and then gets the feed down low. Good pass by Wren, and a great job using his body, drawing the body contact by Abasi Thompson there to drop that shot in. Well done.
Opportunity for a three-point play. Owens of Texas pulls down to miss.
Indiana State has to be gaining a lot of confidence as they're able to hang close against this number 15 ranked Texas ball club. Their confidence is soaring.
Kelly with 15 on the shot. 11 minutes left in the half. Tied up. Nate Green whistle for the foul. A hold, his first.
Sycamore's foul, number 4.
And a timeout with 10:56 remaining here in the first half in Salt Lake. Indiana State on top of Texas. Indiana State leading Texas 13-12. 10:56 remaining here in the first half in Salt Lake City. Get a complete scouting report on the starting lineups for all 64 tournament teams. Just click on March Mayhem at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online users. Enter the keyword CBS Sportsline. That's pretty good. Pretty right on. March Mayhem. It has begun.
And what a great atmosphere here today. The Indiana State band getting cranked up, and Indiana State hanging right in there against Texas.
After the timeout, Texas sets up the three-pointer. And Lawrence Williams, a junior out of Ruston, Louisiana, who's streaky from that three-point line, burns one. 15-13 Longhorns. Geeson gives it off to Thompson. Big Green looking for help. Nice feed inside. Working baseline against Mim, and just his presence makes that shot tough. Picked up by Texas. Mim back after a few minutes on the bench.
Mim 0 for 3 from the field and no rebounds to this point. He needs to get it going for Texas.
He's looking for the ball, but laying on him is Geeson, number 42. Wagner pushes inside, and a whistle. And Geeson picks up the foul, his first and the third team foul on Indiana State.
Good slash to the basket there by Ivan Wagner. Good three-point shooter, so you have to respect his ability to take that jump shot, and he's able to drive it right to the basket.
Wagner 67% from the free throw line. Off the mark on his first, and now Royce Waltman will do wholesale changes. He'll bring in 3 fresh legs. Block is in, and back is Matt Wren, along with Jabril Kante. Wagner with his second. In and out, Mim right there for the putback.
7-footer going right up over Kante to haul in that rebound and get the easy score. Maybe that'll get him rolling.
First bucket after missing his first 3 by Mim. First team All-America, and the first Texas player ever to be given that honor. Under 10 minutes left in the first half. 17-13 Texas. Loose ball. Wren has it. Bounce pass inside, and a jam down. Abbasi Thompson, his second bucket, 4 points out of Chicago.
Well done. Abbasi Thompson slicing to the hole, and a good find by Matt Wren.
Wyatt feeds Mim. Little jump hook, tough to defend, and as you said, watch out, because once he gets warmed up, he'll take off. Mim averaging just under 18 points a game, 2 quick buckets, and the Longhorns lead back to 4.
Easy lay-in by Mim, and a 4-inch size advantage over anyone that Indiana State can throw at him. So he has that big advantage and starting to get rolling for Texas.
Wren works it back up top. Hands it off. There's Minzer. Keelan block on the drive. Good look. Wren had a wide open look and buries the shot. His third bucket, 6 points.
He's had that 17, 18-foot wing jumper about 5 times today and starting to get rolling after getting a little practice earlier today.
Very Indiana State shows no signs at all of intimidation by this bigger Texas team.
Indiana State is a confident and experienced basketball team. All 5 starters returned from last year's club. They've won their league. They're used to winning, and they expect to win today, even though they're playing a tough opponent in Texas.
Minzer met with some backcourt pressure by Texas. Wren works it up. The Keelan block. Coming up on the 8-minute mark of the first half. 2-point game. Jumper. Sweet. Keelan block. A sophomore out of Kansas City, Kansas, with his first bucket. Back the other way. And I don't think it touched iron from Clay. Quickly down to Matt Wren. Minzer, good look.
Great job moving the basketball. Wren setting up Minzer, who is an outstanding three-point shooter at 45%, second in the Missouri Valley Conference. That was a great look at the basket, and he drilled it.
He's had 2 buckets, both 3-pointers, 6 points out of Batesville, Indiana. He was runner-up of Mr. Indiana basketball back in '97. And a timeout with 7:31 left in this opening half in Salt Lake. Indiana State up by 3. Welcome back to Salt Lake City, the Huntsman Center. Indiana State, the 12th seed, leading the 5th seed, Texas, by 3. Look at the field goals, Barry. Indiana State missed their first 4. 10 of 19, 53%. Texas 8 of 16. Turnovers. Indiana State's calmed down. They had some early turnovers, but they have out-rebounded the bigger Texas team 12-7.
The undersized Sycamores at 6'8", their tallest player.
7:22 remaining here in Salt Lake City in the first half. And Indiana State, the 12th seed, leading Texas, the 5th seed, by 3. Indiana State in the blue, Texas in white. Craig Bullerjack and Barry Booker, along with Mike Harris. Chris Mims, slow start, and Indiana State has been basically not intimidated by the bigger Texas team. Mims 0 for 3 to start for the Longhorns, and they've hit the 3 ball for Indiana State. Mesner has hit 2 to lead the way with 6 points, and Matt Wren with 6 as well. Jumper from the corner, buried down by Texas. Darren Kelly with his 5th point.
Indiana State doing a great job in their man-to-man defense, sagging inside, trying to take Chris Mims and his inside presence away, and also doing a great job on rebounding. Indiana State ahead 12-7 in the rebounding category.
Big ring, gave it off to Menzer, who's had the hot hand from the 3-point line. 6.5 minutes to go. Indiana State 2 of 4 from behind the 3-point line. Texas 3 of 5. Mims trying to post up. Good job, Barry, this afternoon by Geeson on Mims.
And for Indiana State, virtually at all times, there are 2 players guarding Chris Mims, sagging in, trying to keep him from catching the basketball and using his size advantage for Texas. And Texas trying a little zone defense for the first time on their defensive end of the court. Forced a difficult 3-point shot from Indiana State.
19 on the shot clock. Chris Owens around the horn. 13 on the shot. Gabe Manecki, baseline, contact. The bucket and the block underneath. So a 3-point opportunity for Manecki, who now with 6, looking for 7.
Gabe Manecki, the senior coming off the bench today, has come up big for Texas. This is his 3rd basket, driving to the hole, getting it down, and now he's going to the foul line. Indiana State looked like Wren had gotten over there. Actually, that's Geeson. Had gotten over there for the charge.
Texas 1 of 5 from the free throw line. Under 6 minutes left in the half. Coming right back, and it's Browerman from the 3-point line. Mims last touched it. Indiana State basketball.
Browerman drilling the 3-pointer for Indiana State. They continue their hot shooting from the perimeter.
Menzer with 2. Now Browerman with his first 3 out of Hamilton, Ohio. Browerman comes in as a freshman. Great credentials. Cincinnati City Player of the Year. Averaged 17 points and 7 boards a game. 5.5 to go in the first half.
Texas back into that 2-3 zone defense. A good idea. Indiana State very familiar with man-to-man defense. It's really know how to play against those, since they do that all the time themselves.
Boy, wide open. Wren missed the shot. I think he was surprised how wide open he was.
He's lonely on that wing. I think maybe just lost control of the basketball before he let it go, because he is a pretty good shooter.
Mims been hanging down on the low block. Now he comes up around the 3-point line, sets up, and Kelly bangs it.
Darren Kelly, very good 3-point shooter for Texas. Drilling another one. They're getting their perimeter game going now is Texas.
Kelly with 8 points. He struggled in that Big 12 tournament. Went 5 of 22 from the floor and only hit 1 out of 7 from the 3-point line. 4 of 6 Texas from behind the 3-point stretch.
And Texas rolling from the perimeter. It is amazing that Indiana State is hanging in there and doing it by out-rebounding and out-battling Texas inside.
Good patience by the Sycamores. 6 though on the shot clock. Jumper, peel and block. A little bit strong, pulled down by Owens of Texas.
Good setup by Nate Green. A little dribble penetration sets up a good shot late in the shot clock.
Owens, nice lob inside to Mim and a whistle quickly. That's tough to defend. Geeson will pick up the foul, and that's going to be 3. Check that. It's going to be blocked. Keelan Block his first.
Texas has gone to a big lineup, and here's Chris Mim posting up strong, using that right forearm to clear some space. Manecki did a nice job feeding it down inside to Mim, setting him up for this foul shooting opportunity.
I will say this, Geeson had to breathe a sigh of relief along with head coach Royce Waltman. He's already playing on the floor with 2 fouls, and so Keelan Block will gladly take one for the team.
Chris Mim is so difficult to handle. And when he gets the ball that close to the basket at 7 feet tall, there's nothing you can do except foul him, and then you put him on the line. He's better than 70% from the line.
Out of Austin, Texas. Played at Westlake High School, only a junior. Made the first, missed the second, so Mim in the first half with 5 points. 28-25 Texas.
Zone defense for Texas, really doing a nice job slowing down Indiana State.
And Royce Waltman calls timeout for Indiana State. 4:04 to go in the first half here in Salt Lake. Texas by 3. Well, welcome back to Salt Lake City. Texas leading Indiana State 28-25. 4:04 remaining in the first half. And Barry, Texas over there talking with Rick Barnes, the head coach at Texas, up by 3 over Indiana State.
Texas has gone to a big lineup as they struggled with Indiana State early, but have taken control a little bit here in the last few minutes. They're playing this big lineup with Manecki, Owens, and Mim on the court. They've gone to zone defense, trying to shore up the rebounding that Indiana State has done a good job at so far this afternoon.
Sycamores down by 3, just under 4 minutes left in the half. Nate Green, the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year with 4 points. Menzer has kept the Sycamores close with a couple of 3-pointers, and that ball way off the mark by Browerman. Texas pushing tempo.
And Indiana State is really out of sync since Texas has gone to the zone defense.
Well, look at the double team on Mim. Still able to fight through. And Chris Mim now with 7 points after the 0-for-3 start.
Well, it doesn't matter with that double team. Chris Mim still 4 or 5 inches taller than anyone on Indiana State's roster. So Mim able to take advantage, catching it down low.
Well, he's an inside-outside guy. You think 7-footer just hangs around the baseline, but he'll walk it up to the top of the key, and he can hit that long jump shot. 3-point try off the mark by Keelan Block.
You can see against the Texas zone, Indiana State, it's all perimeter now.
Dangerous time right now for Indiana State as Texas starts to open it up, and Darren Kelly hits double figures with his second 3-pointer. And a timeout. Indiana State. Texas 33-25. Indiana State.
Chris Mim taking over this basketball game in the last few minutes. Texas making a concerted effort to jam it inside to Mim. Despite the double team, he just powers it up and over the Indiana State Sycamores. Smaller than he, Mim able to take control. And Texas rolling in the last few minutes of this ball game.
Mim with 7 points. Darren Kelly, who averages just under 10 points a game, having a heck of a first half with 11 to this point. 2 boards for Mim, 3 of 6 from the floor for the 7-footer, the All-American.
Texas has gone back man-to-man.
Good look for Keelan Block. Had to look, could not drop it. Texas. Kelly to Wagner. Kelly thought about the 3, slows it down with 20 on the shot clock. Owens met, fouled. It'll be on number 3, Jabril Conte.
Texas still playing this big lineup. It's not always Mim down low. Chris Owens this time gets the feed inside and powers it to the basket. Mim, Manecki, and Chris Owens at big front line of Texas, giving Indiana State a lot of trouble.
So you want to see a basketball body, just look at Chris Owens, number 20, sinks the free throw, his first point. He is the great nephew of Jesse Owens. Need I say more?
Athletic pedigree.
Oh. He averages 23 minutes off the bench. Owens makes the second.
Back in the game for Indiana State, number 42, Brian Giesen.
And a timeout. 2:18 remaining. Texas up a 10-point lead. Texas by 10, and let's hope those aren't permanent tattoos. Indeed, Texas on an 11-0 run over the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And coming up on Pennzoil at the half, Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg will get you caught up on all the scores and highlights on a busy day, plus live look-ins for games in progress. That's all coming up on the Pennzoil at the half.
Well, I'm surprised Texas has gone back to the man-to-man defense. The zone gave Indiana State so much trouble. They're very uncomfortable playing against the zone defense. But now Texas working on their man-to-man.
Nate Green brings it up. 2:07 left. Had the wide open look was Wren. Gave it back. Broerman. On the wing is Minzer. There's the wide open jumper. You got to make it. Bottom line. Off the rim is Wren. Texas again. Trying to push up the tempo. Feed it down to Mim. One of the ball. Draws the double team. Puts it on the floor. And double dribble. Little hop and a skip, and then he dribbled. And the official right there to call it.
They ruled when he was catching the basketball that he dribbled it, and then we tried to put it on the floor and make a move after getting himself gathered. He did double dribble.
5th turnover for Texas. You see the numbers for Indiana State. Under 2 minutes left in the half. 10-point Texas lead.
11-0 run for Texas. Indiana State trying to stop it.
They missed their last 5, and they've had good looks. Nate Green backs it out. Left-hander pulls up. Short. They missed their last 6. That ball may have been tipped as it was on its way to the rim.
Texas forcing Indiana State to take perimeter jumpers exclusively. We've seen nothing heading toward the basket for Indiana State lately.
Wagner at midcourt, letting the clock run. A minute left in the opening half. Texas blew open a tight game around the 3.5-minute mark. Now Wagner drives, pushes up the shot. Oh, off the window, rolled around and in. Ivan Wagner, his second bucket, 5th point out of San Antonio.
Fortunate play for Wagner there, banking it in. Didn't intend to. The ball kind of got away from him, but he got the bounce.
Nate Green on the floor, slicing, and the foul on Mim. Boy, nice drive by Matt Wren.
Yeah, finally Indiana State makes a move toward the basket, driving it in there, drawing a foul, trying to stop this long run by Texas. Ran a little head fake, gets Mim off balance and slices around him and draws that body contact. Well, he's trying to get that shot off.
Matt Wren was 6 points early, has been quiet of late.
It's a good matchup for Wren, too, trying to battle against Chris Mim, who likes to hang around the basket and block shots. But Wren's hadn't been able to hit those jump shots that he's been able to get very often this afternoon.
Wren makes the second, missed the first for his 7th point. And a quick timeout call by Rick Barnes. We'll step aside, take a break. 31 seconds and change left here in the first half. Texas leading Indiana State by 11, and that last free throw buried by Matt Wren was their first point in the last 5:19. Look at that scoring run. Texas 13-1 over the last 5.5 minutes.
Amazing the job that Texas has done defensively, shutting down Indiana State, who had gained a lot of confidence by playing well early in this ball game. Really felt like they could play with Texas, especially after getting rolling. But now Texas is put the clamps down and taking control of this ball game.
Playing for the final shot of the half. 14 on the shot clock. I should correct myself. Game clock. Williams pulls up, 3-pointer away. No. Mim trying to tip it in. Still working hard. And got the bucket.
Good job by Mim and Wagner keeping that ball alive. Mim got the payoff.
Boy, Mim had the slow start, but finishes the first half with 9 points. And Texas owns the lead at the half. Want to welcome in our other member of our crew, Mike Harris, standing by with the head coach of Texas, Rick Barnes.
All right, thanks very much, Craig. Coach, you've taken the lead. How do you maintain it in the second half?
Well, we've got to come out with the same intensity. We've switched our defenses up in the first half. We obviously shot the ball well. We just got to have another good 20 minutes.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Craig, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. That is the end of the first half with a score Texas 39, Indiana State 26. Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg will be along with Pennzoil at the half after these messages.
Two games going in the West, two games going in the Midwest. Clark Kellogg and I have scores and live action coming up.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the half. Sponsored by Pennzoil. Specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome once again to Pennzoil at the half, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg. We are at halftime of Indiana State against the Texas Longhorns, and we're starting to see a little breathing room. You said early on the favorites might prevail here early on.
Exactly. In the Texas game, they just have too much strength up front, balanced by outside shooting in the first half.
All right, Clark. Meanwhile, the action going on at the McHale Center in Tucson, Arizona, between Winthrop's Eagles and the third seed Oklahoma Sooners. Let's join Gus Johnson and Dan Bonner.
38-23, Oklahoma on top of Winthrop. 27 seconds to go here in the first half of play. The Oklahoma defense superior in the first half of play so far. And a reach-in foul called against Adrian Stockman.
That's only the 6th team foul against Winthrop. Sooners trying to hold it for the last shot of the half.
Now Price finds Raymond. 8 seconds to go. Price with it with 6 on the clock. Here's a hesitation down the lane. Whistle and foul against Winthrop with 2.3 to go. And the story in the first half, Dan, offensively for Oklahoma, it's been their backcourt. J.R. Raymond and Hollis Price. Raymond with 11 points, Price with 9 heading to the line.
With as much attention as is garnered by Eduardo Nájera, people forget that Oklahoma has an outstanding backcourt. Price and Raymond have demonstrated that today. You can see 25 points between those two in the starting backcourt. They have just been outstanding and have dominated this game.
And both players very young. Hollis Price, a freshman from New Orleans. J.R. Raymond, a sophomore. Second one is good. 39-23. Stockman picks it up, runs the baseline, fires it down the floor, out of bounds with 1.5 to go.
And that ball, fortunately for Winthrop, was touched by Marshall, because had that ball not been touched, it would have been out of bounds underneath the basket up on the other end. Now Oklahoma's got to go the entire length of the court in 1.5.
Price inbounding, and Raymond runs out the clock. Oklahoma 13 of 27 from the field. Nájera in that first half of play had 8 points. Now let's go to Beth Mowens.
Kelvin, how was it that your defense was so effective in taking them out of their offense in the first half?
Winthrop is really good in running sets. They run a lot of patterns, and now we have to be able to take them out of that. Running patterns and offensive rebounding are 2 things they're really good at, and those are things I thought we did well at half.
All right, best of luck in the second half. Gus?
All right, Beth, that's the end of the first half with the score. Winthrop trailing Oklahoma 39-23. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the half. Sponsored by Pennzoil. Specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Those of you who have been watching the action in Tucson between Winthrop and Oklahoma, we welcome you to Pennzoil at the half. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg. 39-23, the Sooners beginning to establish some superiority.
Exactly, at the defensive end and with their backcourt play, that's the reason they're up double digits.
All right, Clark. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, first round action in the Midwest Regional between St. Bonaventure and Kentucky. The Wildcats lead at 44-38, and that game has just under 12 minutes to play in the second half. Let's take you out there and join Kevin Harlan and John Sunvold as St. Bonaventure Bonnies have hit a cold spell from the floor.
His first free throw is up and in. He is a 75% free throw shooter. Kentucky program, John, has had some interesting things happen since last season. 3 seniors lost to graduation. A tragic and sudden death of a 1999 recruit. 3 transfers are left. The 99 team, and a transfer at mid-season of this year. Not to mention Desmond Allison, who is out. .11:53 to play. We're in the second half, and Kentucky leads St. Bonaventure 46-38.
So Kentucky with a 46-38 lead on St. Bonaventure, and you see there 11:53 to play here in the second half. Meanwhile, in the Midwest Regional at the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Creighton's Blue Jays behind the Tigers. Auburn leading it by a score of 47-36. 15:56 to play in the second half in that game. Let's take a look at some of the action early on. Blue Jays took an early lead. Then Walker, 3-pointer from the far side is good. Then here come the Tigers.
Mamadou Njai going to put this missed shot back in by Scott Pullman. They led 17-11.
Auburn lead went to 11 as Scott Pullman will hit the jumper from the right side. And the Auburn Tigers are in control at this point by a score of 47-36. Some of the action still to come here on CBS. The next round of games, Samford against 4th seed Syracuse in the Midwest, and Central Connecticut State will take on 2nd seed Iowa State. In the West, number 11 Dayton against 6th seed Purdue Boilermakers, and the 4th seeded LSU Tigers against Southeast Missouri State. All of that is still to come. We will continue on the road to the Final Four here on CBS.
Pennzoil at the half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil. Exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by the Chevy Monte Carlo, Pizza Hut, American Express, and by Salomon Smith Barney.
And welcome back inside the Huntsman Center at halftime. Texas leading Indiana State 39-26. We look at the halftime numbers, Barry, and rebounds fairly even. Turnovers, both teams took care of the ball very well, but you have to look at the field goal situation. I mean, Texas shot 60% from the floor, 39% for the Sycamores, and Indiana State finished the half. They missed their last 7 shots.
Yeah, and Indiana State has gotten very little from Nate Green. He only has 4 points and 2 assists so far in this ball game. So Nate Green needs to get going, needs some dribble penetration from Indiana State.
As it scores across the country in the NCAA with 10 minutes left, Kentucky 46, St. Bonaventure 40.
Texas is 21-3 when they lead at the half. They are 36-6 under Rick Barnes when they have that halftime lead. They lead Indiana State by 13, 39-26. At the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City, just moments away from starting the second half of this first game of the West region here in Salt Lake City. Texas comes in as the 5th seed and Indiana State the 12th seed. Craig Bullerjack back along with Barry Booker. And Barry, you know, Chris Mims, after that slow start, suffered the death in the family to his grandmother, who was very, very close to him, and he shook that off a little bit in the later minutes of the first half and finished up with 9 points. But Darren Kelly, the story, with 3 threes. He leads all scorers with a dozen for Texas.
Yeah, Kelly has also done a real nice job against Nate Green, Indiana State's top scorer. Texas done a really nice job. Ivan Wagner, Kelly, William Clay have all combined to slow down Nate Green and take control of this ball game.
Well, Mike Harris is now just moments ago had a chat with Royce Waltman of Indiana State.
Coach, you started strong, then you seemed to hit a brick wall. What happened, and how do you fix it?
Well, they went zone, and we have experienced guards, and I was really disappointed that we didn't attack it the way we work on it. But that's history now. We're just going to have to get our nerves back together and attack their different defenses a little more intelligently.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
We talked about that big lineup when Texas went to that 2-3 zone. Indiana State had a ton of trouble handling that.
Nate Green, who had the 4 points with the rebound, pushing the tempo, and a whistle. So Texas misses their first shot of the second half. And after that little talk, Royce Waltman in the locker room, who, by the way, Barry, is a former assistant under Bob Knight back in '82-'87. I have a feeling there was probably some energy in that locker room.
He knows how to incite a club at halftime, learning from the master, Coach Knight.
Nate Green misses the front end. 4 points for Green, all in the first half. He's had double figures this season, Barry. 23 of the 31 games he's played. Maybe that starts the second half spark.
Well, Nate Green took it strong to the basket to start this second half. Texas really handled him in the first half, limiting him to 4 points. But Nate Green trying to pick it up, trying to start with some penetration to the basket.
Owens thought about passing, wide open, took the shot and hit it. Chris Owens, his first bucket, 4 points down at Duncanville, Texas.
Chris Owens and Chris Mim down low have done a nice job for Texas. Really controlled this ball game since about the 10-minute mark of the first half.
Jumper from the corner. Geeson and his first bucket. He's really effective in the post, but he can't step out as he just did on the baseline.
Chris Mim at 7 feet trying to guard the basket. Geeson has gotten several good opportunities from out on that wing.
Owens working strong inside. Hard to stop that body at 240, 6'8". So back-to-back buckets by Owens, the sophomore. Back the other way. Mim the rebound off the miss. Nice lob inside. Owens now all of a sudden the post guy.
Chris Owens dominating this game so far in the second half. 3 baskets, and Texas front line taking control.
Mim throws down an assist, his first. 45-29 Longhorns. Back the other way. And it's Minzer. His 9th point. 3 threes in this game for Michael Minzer.
A big basket for Indiana State. They're struggling to put points on the board.
Kelly, they beat it to Mim. Whistle, bucket, count it.
Everything going to the basket in the second half so far for Texas. It's been Chris Owens down low, and now Chris Mim gets involved.
Geeson picks up his 3rd.
We knew the size of Texas would be a big factor in this ball game. Indiana State did a good job keeping the ball from going inside in the first half, but so far in the second half, Texas has had their way down low with Owens and Mim.
Mim will try to make it a 3-point play. He has 11. Make it 12. Substitution. Indiana State will bring in Terrence Avery, a 6'9" sophomore. And out goes Geeson with the 3 fouls. Indiana State, Barry, does not have a deep bench when it comes to big players.
Absolutely, and that's a weakness of this club, their lack of size. And Texas taking advantage. Nate Green has been aggressive so far. Number 4 for Indiana State has been aggressive trying to initiate things for Indiana State. He needs to continue that.
Avery, one official, said he took steps. The other whistled a foul.
Indiana State will get the bucket and a 3-point play opportunity.
Mim picks up his 2nd. And Avery, just off the bench, gets the bucket.
Now they call that on the floor. Avery trying to work his way inside. They called a push on Chris Mim on the floor before the shot, so Indiana State plays it in off the baseline.
So you take the 2 off the scoreboard. Minzer, 3-pointer. They look at his scorecard, 12 points. The guy just knocking him down from behind the 3-point line. 4 threes. The junior out of Batesville, Indiana. He shoots 45% from behind the 3-point line, and he's warmed up today.
Minzer realizing his club needs points, starting to drill them in from downtown, knocking out 3-pointers for Indiana State.
A bucket cuts the lead down to 12. 17 minutes left here in the opening round game of the West Region in Salt Lake. Monecki feeds Mim. Turn around. Stop and shoot. And he got the bounce off the back of the iron. 14 for Mim.
Well, shooting the basketball has so much to do with confidence, and Chris Mim's confidence has soared since the beginning of this ball game. He has gotten in a rhythm and in a flow of this game and is starting to dominate.
Rin the other way. The put back nicely by Avery. His first bucket. So they took one away. He gets it back.
Good job by Indiana State driving it to the basket. They need more of that.
Errant pass inside. Picked off by Avery of Indiana State. Here's a guy that needs to warm up. Nate Green on the drive. Left-hander off the iron. Kelly picks it up for Texas.
And Green needs to drive it to the basket. Doesn't always have to shoot, especially when Chris Mim comes off to contest the shot. He can set up his teammates past the basketball. That's what Green has done so well this season for Indiana State.
Under 16 minutes. Mim turns from the baseline. Shot in and out. Tip. Went down. Gabe Muneke. 6 points in the first half. And boy, the last 4 ball games, Gabe Muneke has been hot. 56% from the floor, 22 of 39. Blocked by Mim. Here comes Muneke. I'd say that Mim-Muneke combination, one of the most dangerous front lines in college basketball.
The M&M boys for Texas getting it done this afternoon as well.
Three-pointer. Short by Minzer. And a whistle and a timeout. Indiana State. Royce Waltman will talk it over with his Sycamores, and we'll be back to Salt Lake after this. Conclusion of today's game, we will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game. For each team, Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund, a tradition for over a quarter of a century. .1509 remaining after the timeout by Royce Waltman. 15-point lead for the Longhorns. It was tight for the first 15 minutes of that first half, and then Indiana State missed their last 7 shots just before halftime over the spanning of about 5 minutes. And Texas has pulled away. And another timeout, and we will return to the Huntsman Center after this. Well, Hookham is doing the dance, and so are the fellas up top. I still say, Barry, I hope those aren't permanent. You know?
Certainly not. But the horns, they're hoping that's permanent. Chris Mim dominating the Western Regional of the NCAA tournament, really rolling since the early stages of this ball game.
You know, great story about Chris Mim. We talked to Rick Barnes and a lot of the team that surrounds Mim. Absolutely no jealousy with this young man. He is a role model of role models, takes all the press, all the attention so graciously, and spreads it around.
He helps his club in so many ways, gets open shots because of all the attention that he draws. He gets open shots for his teammates.
He's getting a rest right now with 14 points, 3 boards. He's 6 of 10. Owens doing the hard work inside and gets another bucket. Well, Owens, huge here in the second half. 4 buckets, now 10 points. Double figures for the great nephew of Jesse Owens.
Texas back in their aggressive man-to-man defense, getting after Indiana State. Indiana State needs to drive it to the basket, needs some penetration, especially with Mim out of the ball game.
Nice feet inside, turn around. Avery cans the jumper.
Greg Gumbel in New York. Indiana State trailing Texas. We're going to take you away from that game and send you right now to Cleveland, where St. Bonaventure is on a 23-7 run. They've grabbed the lead on Kentucky. Let's join Kevin Harlan and John Sunborg.
Saul Smith gets the loose ball, 2-on-1. Prince and Bowens orchestrated well, and Prince gets the 2.
Yeah, textbook. 2-on-1 break, all caused by the long jump shot of Bremer. Long miss. Wildcats got to run.
We have a 1-point game with under 4 to play. Kevin Harlan, John Sunbold, and Debbie Antonelli from Cleveland. A pass going for newly instated David Messiah Capers.
Yeah, good step out by Camaro defensively. Got to make sure Tim Wynn, when he comes off the screen, he will stop and fire deep on himself. Good hand.
Nice steal there by Jules Kamara. And driving inside, challenged by Messiah Capers, and the foul right there.
Now the key is, did they give him 2 shots, or did they say pass the ball? Yeah, they may give him 2 shots.
With 3.5 to play in the second half.
Kamara makes 2 outstanding defensive plays in the same possession. Stepped out when Tim Wynn was going to come over and fire it. He stepped out, had to pass it. Then he makes a steal and attacks the rim.
1998 National Coach of the Year, Tubby Smith. First year at Kentucky, won the Final Four. Now he'll be one of the coaches on the U.S. Olympic team in Sydney this coming summer.
always an intensity in his eyes from the sideline.
Kamara from the line out of Dakar, Senegal. King of Queens, Monday on CBS. He's got a great wife, some really cool friends, and a hit show on CBS. 3 reasons why it's good to be king. Kevin James is the King of Queens, Monday on CBS. And Kamara, once again, one of the top 30 players in the country. Chose UK over Virginia and South Carolina. Played at Oak Hill Academy, and out of bounds it goes. But we are tied at 54 with 3.5 to play in regulation. Bonaventure and Kentucky are tied at 54. 4 second-half three-point shots by the Bonnies, the difference, plus a bevy of turnovers in the second half by Kentucky.
Yeah, 10 second-half turnovers by Kentucky. Their field goal percentage has gone from 56 the first half to only 37 the second half. The Bonnies have been better defensively. They've gotten after Kentucky, forcing the turnovers, forcing them into bad shots.
There's Jim Barron from Brooklyn, New York. He was the point guard in the '77 NIT championship team, coaching his alma mater right now, and coaching them in a tournament for the first time since 1978 in the NCAA tournament for this school. And a Logan's Sybil steal saved by Van Passen. Gets it out to Messiah Capers. And Prato for 3. He's had a big day shooting above the arc, and it trickles in.
What a touch for the man from Argentina.
That is his 4th three-point shot today, and it gives St. Bonaventure the 3-point lead.
Kevin, things are going your way. Bogan should have had the steal, could have had the steal, and then there was a tip pass. Went into the hands of Tim Wynn, and then the conversion by hitting about 4 parts of the rim.
How about Kamara setting a screen and a 3 by Prince, and we're tied at 57. That's his 4th three-point shot.
Well, Tayshaun has had a big ball game, needed to in the offensive end.
Texas and Oklahoma winning their games. At the same time, here in Cleveland, first round Midwest Regional. This is the home of the #1 seed Michigan State Spartans. They'll play tonight.
Well, Prado has had the hot hand. They can find him the matchup of Prince on him.
Van Passen was spinning, corkscrewing up, and fouled by Kamara, the sophomore for Kentucky. And that's a foul with 2:23 to play. And John, let's start to talk about some strategy here for both these teams. What's Jim Barron thinking on the sideline for the Bonnies?
Well, I think offensively they've done a nice job. They're now spacing the floor. They're making Kentucky come out and guard them. And Kentucky's having a hard time with the quickness. Then they've pounded it inside. And for Tubby Smith, they've got to find a way offensively to get into their low post position. Pound it inside of McGlure, make the defense double team, find some open shooters.
Van Passen, a 66% free throw shooter, and now 2 of 3 today. And yeah, you got to sometimes not look at the action. It gets so fierce. In fact, when this team and these kids were gathered in a home in Olean, New York, when the tournament pairings were being broadcast on CBS on Sunday, a lot of them said they couldn't watch the screen. They had to cover their ears and not look at the screen. But boy, their eyes are wide and their ears are open today. It's Prince sliding across the line for 2. Great play by Tayshaun Prince, the sophomore for Kentucky.
The push of the basketball after the miss and all, or after the make, all of a sudden, quickly Prince gets on top of him. The ability to hang in the air, the softness of the release. That is a tough, difficult shot to convert.
Best player in the Los Angeles and Southern California area. He truly is the X factor for this team. With Desmond Allison out and suspended by Kentucky, this kid had to play.
Well, the thing about Tayshaun, if he can give you, again, 15, 16 points, plus give you 7, 8 rebounds, that is the X factor. He's got 19 points this afternoon, 5 rebounds.
Tubby Smith has been quoted as saying he thinks he's the most multifaceted player in the country. And here's Bremer. He was hitting all those threes early. Tries inside this time to the hole for 2.
Off the dribble. He's done it outside. He's now done it inside.
He's got 15. The Cleveland native has led the Bonnies now to a 1-point lead with under 2 minutes to play. Could we be seeing our first big upset of the day? And what a way to begin, as Kamara is handcuffed and gets it back to the freshman Bogan. He's working on Bremer. Outside, Prince is at 4 3-point shots. Van Passen is there, but he's got 4 fouls.
Good help by Van Passen. Kamara lost his shoe.
Prince inside, rejected for the second time by Cyrus to the other end, 2-on-1. Messiah Capers to win, counted for 2 and a foul.
Kevin defensively, here's the block. Now Jules Kamara loses his shoe, so he can't get back defensively. It turns into a 2-on-1. He would have been back, all of a sudden 2-on-1. Tim Wynn, little bump with the arm, converts it, salutes his crowd.
There goes on the shoe. We know Cinderella had trouble putting on shoes at one time. Well, St. Bonaventure had trouble putting on Cinderella's slipper here in this first.
You know, he was standing right there when the shot was blocked, and all of a sudden he tried to get back. He slips because the shoe was off already, so he couldn't get back defensively. A conversion by Wynn.
Tim Wynn, first team Atlantic 10. And won't drop. Rebound is hugged by McGlure. Minute 20 to play. Hogan's the other way, and a sense of urgency now for the Wildcats.
Well, again, yeah, they have to pick it up and become more aggressive with the ball.
Kamara with the miss. Rebound retrieved by McGlure. Back out to Prince. Swings it over to Smith. Tries to ply his way inside. It's Prince for three and a tie. Rebound hauled down by Cyrus.
And now you play the clock. Spread the floor. Use your quickness against this taller Kentucky team. Make them chase.
We had two number 12 seeds a season ago that advanced, beating a 5 seed. Will it happen today? By 3, let's swing it over to Debbie Antonelli.
Thank you, Kevin. You know, it's been 30 years since St. Bonaventure played in the Final Four, led by their big guy, Bob Lanier. But in the East Regional Finals against Villanova, Chris Ford falls off Bob Lanier, knocks him out of the Final Four as St. Bonaventure goes on to play, but loses to Jacksonville and Artis Gilmore. St. Bonnie trying to make a little bit more added to their tournament history.
And they lead it with 48 seconds to play by 3, 63 to 60.
And spread the floor, take him off the dribble.
Tim Wynn picked up by Saul Smith.
The tough matchup for Kentucky has been Prince on Brimmer. Brimmer's been more active with the ball.
Difference of 25 seconds, game clock and shot clock. A miss right there by Brimmer. Picked up by McGlure.
Got to push.
Kentucky has timeouts.
Well, they need a 3.
Kentucky.
As slow as they're going, they're only looking for a 3. I thought they'd take it to the hole plenty of time for 2 possessions.
Saul Smith.
Good screen.
Prince for 3 in the tie, and he gets it to go with 7 seconds to play.
The Prince of Kentucky off a solid streak.
Hits his 5th three-point shot today. Tayshaun Prince keeps Kentucky alive. We're tied at 63 with 7 seconds left.
Prato's been hot shooting the basketball deep. Then beat him over the top with a long jump shot.
Everybody on their feet in a 63-63 tie ball game.
I was surprised, Kevin, by really the patience of Kentucky. They didn't push it up the floor. I thought they might attack, try to get a 2-pointer. They took their time, the solid screen, double pick right there, and Tayshaun, who's been on all night long, 5 for 9 from three-point land, 22 points.
Game has held 6 ties and 8 lead changes.
And you don't want him to throw over the top and beat you off the dribble. Smith's got to stay in front of him.
Here comes Wynn by Smith to the hole. Can't get it to go. Saved by McGlure. Buzzer sounds. Overtime for Kentucky. And a happy Jim Barron of St. Bonaventure. I don't think in his wildest dreams he thought he'd find himself in this situation. Tayshaun Prince, who is a sophomore from the Los Angeles area, has had Kentucky's last 9 points. And here was his 5th three-pointer of the afternoon, which tied the game.
Well, I thought we mentioned the X factor was Mr. Prince. They set everything up for him, the double screen. He's been hot this afternoon, and the reaction from the guy who drew it up and thinks, hey, terrific play. What an afternoon.
And again, Kentucky playing without Desmond Allison, a kid they had counted on so many times this season, out with the DUI charge earlier in the week, suspended indefinitely. And because of his absence, Tayshaun Prince and others have had to step up as Tubby Smith is using a depleted bench. Only 9 players total on the Kentucky team eligible for today.
And he has played 7 of those players, kept his rotation in and kept everybody fresh. They played that zone defense, which was to their advantage until the Bonnies got hot and he had to come out of the zone, which wears down your players a little bit.
John St. Bonaventure, with no tournament experience whatsoever, now find themselves in overtime against the vaunted Kentucky tradition, that Mesquite. How do they approach it?
Well, it's a very veteran ball club, though, Kevin. They've been in situations this year. They've won big ball games. They beat Temple at home. They've done some nice things. I think they know they belong here. They want to make a statement this afternoon. They've made one so far. They want to finish it.
Van Passen gets it in, and the Bonnies on top by 2. And here comes McClure off the Blevins. Saul Smith is on the bench to begin overtime.
Saul Smith with 4 personal fouls, keeping him out of there. He's got to guard Tim Wynn, so they put Blevins on.
Hogan's with the ball. Gets it over to Kamara. And the shot clock is down to 10. And a foul is blown on J.R. Bremer.
Well, the 2 options on the offensive end for Kentucky has been Bogans or Prince. Really, Prince has been the first option. Keith Bogans can take guys off the dribble. He's more aggressive that time, but the shot clock was winding down.
Both Kentucky and St. Bonaventure receiving at-large bids. Kentucky finishing the regular season with a 22-9 record. First 8 games, 4-4. Then they won 18 of the next 23.
So Kentucky and St. Bonaventure, 4:10 play in overtime. The Bonnies with a 1-point lead will keep you updated. But meanwhile, Indiana State crawling ever closer to the Texas Longhorn. Let's send you back.
Texas will inbound with a 9-point lead. Mim remains on the bench with the 4 fouls. They give it to Owens, who's 5 for 5 from the floor here in the second half. He's got a dozen. 7.5 minutes to go.
Texas outscoring Indiana State 32-14 in the paint.
Oh, Owens posting up, wanted it, got around Geeson and slammed it down for his 14th point. 6 for 6 this half from the floor.
And make it 34-14 Texas over Indiana State as far as points in the paint. And the zone defense for Texas, Indiana State having trouble handling it.
The 3-pointer off the mark by Minzer. Those shots were going down minutes ago.
And that was a good shot. Good job by Indiana State handling that zone on that trip down the court. A little dribble penetration, set up a good shot by Mike Minzer. He just couldn't get it down.
The steal, Nate Green, here he comes. Strip, chasing it down from behind was William Clay.
And Nate Green just lost the basketball heading toward the basket. Clay there, but Green just dropped it off his leg as he was trying to get into the shooting motion.
And Barry, Nate Green just tied Larry Bird. All-time career steals list at Indiana State with 240.
What a career Nate Green has had at Indiana State. Outstanding player, wrapping up his senior season as Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year.
Well, the gate is wide open. Owens having a field day down underneath. 16 points.
Chris Owens dominating this ball game in the second half.
Well, Geeson got tied up, lost his footing, went down and had a wide open 2-look for Chris Owens. 64-51. For the close game we had minutes ago, now broken open with 6:05 left. Keelan Block gets it. Boy, Block awakens. His first bucket of this half, 5 points. And it's a 10-point game.
Indiana State still trying to hang around, only down 10.
That's not going to get it done. Fell asleep on the defensive backside. Kelly gets it. Darren Kelly with 14. He had 12 in the first 20 minutes.
Got off to a great start shooting the basketball. 3 for 3 from three-point range in the first half was Darren Kelly. And Texas getting great shots every time down.
Boy, nice feed inside.
Chris Owens throwing shots out.
Minzer hits the 3.
And Owens can't believe it. He gives the effort, blocks 2 shots on that attempt, only to set up Mike Minzer for a 3-point shot.
Boy, 9-point game, just like that. Hang on to your seat, 5:10 to go. Maneke working up high. Conte trying to front him. Maneke on the double team, kicks it out. Kelly puts it on the floor, drives it up, and a whistle.
Well, you work so hard, play great defense. Chris Owens swatting shots away, just going time and time and again after Brian Geeson. In a scramble, the ball ends up at the top of the key. You block the 2-pointers only to set up the 3 for Mike Minzer.
Well, Nate Green picked up the foul, his second. And that will send Kelly to the line, Darren Kelly. Kelly makes the first. Well, here's our CBS Sports Line stat of the game. Points in the paint. Texas 38/14. Get complete NCAA tournament coverage at cbs.sportsline.com.
38 of Texas, 67 points coming in the paint. As we expected, Texas dominant down low.
Kelly missed the second. Nate Green across midcourt. Just under 5 minutes left. Keelan Block, dribble drive. Haynes kicks and fires. Keelan Block starting to wake up. Had a 3-pointer, now a deuce. 67-59, 8-point lead for Texas.
Only an 8-point game. Indiana State hanging around. They've knocked out some 3-point shots to keep it close. And that dribble penetration there by Block to get inside, get that short jumper down.
Good look, rattles it down. Kelly. Boy, Kelly's a streak shooter, boy. 12 in the first half, quiet. And now has popped a couple of jumpers. And boy, he struggled, as I mentioned, in the Big 12 tournament. Hit 5 of 22 from the floor. Minzer wanted the ball. Now back up top. Nate Green around the horn. Block. Green. 16 on the shot. Block on the line. A 2-point shot. 9 for Keelan Block.
Well, Texas played box-and-1 defense, trying to keep the ball away from Mike Minzer, but that left Block open on the wing to knock out that 3. Indiana State is not going away.
And a whistle, 8-point ball game, and a timeout with 3:38 to go. Mim, will he check back in? We'll see after this.
I'm serious. Whenever guys find out I have a cat, they freak.
You kidding me? I love cats.
Of course, my cat's not like other cats.
Well, sure he isn't.
He gets so jealous if anyone drinks my Bud Light. Oh, anyway, I'll go get changed.
You're right. Stupid cats.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Oh, look at you, too.
Make it a Bud Light.
Well, Texas, the 5th seed in the West, taking on the 12th seed Indiana State. 69-61 with 3:38 remaining. It's been, well, we've seen the 3-point shots go up. Indiana State putting up 17, making 9. Texas with 9 3 attempts, and they buried 5. And Mim, after that timeout, checking back in. Mark this down, Barry. 3:38 to go. He's got the 4 fouls, 14 points. And if you're Indiana State, I mean, it's simple. Go at the big guy.
Yeah, try to get him out of there, but Texas has hung on. They were up by 7 when Mim went out. They're up by 8 with the basketball right now as he checks back in.
Wagner feeds the big fella, draws a double team whistle. Shot off the front of the iron. Well, the life of a 7-footer. Always a hand in the face. Always.
Hand in the face, a knee in your rear end, and 2 forearms in your back. And Chris Mim trying to back his way down, got great position, caught the ball with both feet in the lane, and all you can do is foul him, send him to the line, try to make him earn 2.
Wren picked up the foul, his 3rd. And Mim hits the first, 15 points. He's 3 of 4 from the free throw line, make 4 of 5. So Mim now with 16 points and a timeout. 10-point lead for Texas.
Ball, the timing circumstance, or whether it was a 3 or a 2.
Right, correctable error situation.
They get it to Walker. He is clean block. Clean block, Mamadou Ndiaye.
He got a piece of that one.
Now Mamadou. What a courageous effort by Dana Altman's Creighton team. I mean, just magnificent. And Auburn still trying to find himself, Byrne. And Cliff knows every win for his club gets them together, more harmonious. Well, the question was, did he touch the long pass? The ref said no. This one, no judgment. The big guy prevails. And he'll sing a happy song tonight, the Warbler.
They were up by 15 at the half. And Creighton climbed back to within one, could not climb over the hump and get the lead. But they made a heck of a game of it. 72-69 is the final. 72-69. Our final score right now, back to Greg Gumbel.
A minute and 22 seconds to go in the overtime. All right, Byrne, so the Auburn Tigers, the first team to advance in this year's tournament, 72-69. Let's take you to Cleveland. Kevin Harlan and John Sunvold.
Tayshaun Prince hits the back end of the free throw after getting fouled by Patricio Prado, who fouls out for St. Bonaventure. It's 72-68, the Wildcats by 4 in overtime.
And boys have combined for 30 points. 16 for Mim, 14 for Monecki.
Plus a big day from Chris Owens off the bench. Texas getting great production from their number 4 and number 5 players inside.
Turnaround shot. Didn't hit iron.
No, Wren had to arc that one up and over Chris Mim to get it to the basket.
Well, coming up next on the road to the Final Four, Sanford, Syracuse, Central Connecticut State, or Iowa.
We just had a timeout. 45.9 seconds to play in overtime, and the Wildcats lead by 4 as you take a look at the timeout situation for both teams.
Well, with Prado out, who has shot the ball extremely well, look for Bremer to get a look.
It's off the top of your screen as Wynn tries to twirl aside and is called for the travel.
J.P. Blevins, who's inserted for Saul Smith, his job, stay in front of Tim Wynn. Make him turn again. Only 5'10", force him to the middle, forced a turnover.
Kentucky has done it in overtime at the free throw line. They're 7 of 10. St. Bonaventure from the stripe, 1 of 3. And another Bonnie foul. They had to stop the clock. 28.4 seconds.
Now Keith Bogans goes to the foul line, 65% free throw shooter. The freshman, 7 of 9 this afternoon. Solid ball game, really solid first half.
And the free throw shooting today for Kentucky, 16 of 25, and for St. Bonaventure, 5 of 11. So a pretty big disparity in the number of tries for both teams from the stripe today.
But not surprising, because you don't beat Kentucky by taking it to the hole. They'll block a lot of shots. St. Bonaventure got back in this ball game and actually took the lead because of their perimeter shooting.
Freshman Eric Segrist now checks in out of Poughkeepsie, New York. He is a freshman.
Good shooter.
Yeah, 33% three-point shooter as Bogans hits another. 73-68. Bogans from the free throw line, 8 of 11 today.
5 points, still can be a 2-possession game.
And here is Segrist, the freshman, missing the 3. High kick off the rim. And it is a leaning shot by Bremer.
Should be 3 free throws.
3 free throws for Bremer, who just gambled knowing that 2 defenders were right on him in a straitjacket.
Well, the thing what Bremer did, he ball faked, and he got the long rebound. He's been the hot guy from outside, so he ball fakes, and Kamara jumped in the air, which Tubby Smith rolled his eyes and thought, you can't do that.
So big free throws coming up for Bremer, a 65% free throw shooter this season, and from the stripe today, 1 of 1, 16 points for the Cleveland Heights native, J.R. Bremer. He's got 2 down.
Well, you forced a quick shot. You forced a miss. Didn't get the offensive rebound.
Here comes Robert Cheekson, the sophomore from Jersey City, New Jersey, and leaving the freshman Segrist.
Now all of a sudden Bremer makes this one. You're only down 2, 15.5 seconds left. Go for a quick steal. They miss.
Now gets the ball.
Go for the quick foul.
And they get it. And it goes on David Messiah Capers. And he's got 4 with 13.4 seconds remaining in overtime.
Well, now you want to lengthen this game. Make Kentucky make free throws.
John, you came out of the blocks today saying that Kentucky did not come out of the blocks. They were very sluggish to get underway.
I thought they were a little lethargic, and sometimes that happens on the defensive end. St. Bonaventure got off to a good start. We knew and we understand Kentucky has a hard time scoring the basketball. You take away Desmond Allison's 8 points and his ability to slash, someone has to pick up the slack, and so far this afternoon, Tayshaun Prince has been that guy with 26.
On 2 of 4 from the free throw line, now 2 of 5. He is a 68% free throw shooter.
That's a big one here.
It is. And Segrist will come back in, and leaving will be Robert Sheets.
You miss, you're down to 1 possession. You make, it's got to be a 2-possession game.
Gets that to go. It's a 4-point Kentucky Wildcat lead. Messiah Capers gets it in to win. And working by Prince, takes it inside.
Oh, count it.
What a shot! Why did Kentucky foul him?
I'm not sure he was trying to. I think he's trying to get out of the way. What Tim Wynn did, he took the ball into Kamara. Watch where he goes with this basketball. He's going to go across the lane and go into the body. Kamara trying to stay away, but he leaned that way. And the difficult finish and the reaction.
Kamara fouls out of the game. 8.7 seconds remaining. A free throw still awaiting the Bonnies, and it's a 74-72 Kentucky 2-point lead.
And it all started, though, because J.P. Blevins allowed them to throw over the top, and he gets Tim Wynn off on the run and can't catch up.
Tim Wynn may be one of the top players in the country under 6 feet tall. He is a stick of dynamite. And today he's been so effective in so many ways in running this team. Not the big numbers for the leading scorer for the Bonnies.
Has struggled shooting the ball. Only 1 of 7 from three-point land. But defensively, he's been everywhere. He has 10 assists.
Now he is a 78% free throw shooter. One of the top 2 free throw shooters on the team. And gets it to go. It's a 1-point game. We're in overtime with 8.7 to play. As Kentucky, green and heavy, they lead by just a point. Kevin Harlan from the Midwest region, first round, Cleveland, Ohio, and the Convocation Center. St. Bonaventure led early by 10, trailed by as many as 13, came back to tie it, and we're in overtime right now. And 5th seed Kentucky leads by 1 over 12th seed St. Bonaventure.
Most important, Blevins got to make the pass from the inbounds play.
And he gets it into Bogans.
I think they got a foul out front. Messiah, I think, grabbing McGlure.
With no time off the clock, and Kentucky leading by 1.
Jamal McGlure now has to go to the foul line.
Kentucky's running out of players. They came in today with 9. They haven't played 2, so they really had a 7-man rotation.
2 guys are fouled out, so they're down to 5 guys that have played, and they are on the floor now. They don't want another overtime, but you got a 1-point lead. Jamal McGlure goes to foul line, 69% free throw shooter, 1 of 3 this afternoon. No matter what he does, it's a 1-possession game.
Kentucky has taken 29 free throw attempts today, John, for Tubby Smith. And only 15 attempts for St. Bonaventure. And a big hit for McGlure.
Well, I will promise you this time, Blevins won't get in front of Tim Wynn and let throw over the top and let Wynn go coast to coast.
75-73 Kentucky. Trying to advance. And they hit it.
Good substitution right here.
And they bring in the freshman Eric Segrist.
You got your 3-point shooter. Segrist is 1. Bremer's the other. Tim Wynn has struggled shooting it. Messiah Capers can knock it in. Here we go.
Here we go is right. Tim Wynn takes it. Guarded by Prince. Off to Messiah Capers. And a foul on the shot with .4 on the clock.
I can't believe it.
It was a freshman. Marvin Stone is a freshman from Alabama, and he is called for the foul here. So
it looked like a pretty good block.
Wow.
And Marvin couldn't believe it. You know, it's interesting. Last 3 possessions, they fouled on the 3-point shot before 3 free throws. Then they converted the three-point play traditionally, and there's a reaction from Tubby Smith. Can't believe it himself.
Messiah Capers, a 55% free throw shooter. He gets the first. He is a senior, a fifth-year senior, taking graduate courses now at St. Bonaventure from New Brunswick, New Jersey. And Kentucky's going to call the timeout and let the fifth-year senior think about it. 2 free throws coming for the Bonnies. They're down by 2.
When you buy a bargain PC, what you're really buying is a mystery box. Is the processor up to date? Who knows? Is the internet included? Doubt it. How about a free color printer? Don't bet the ranch. With a Gateway Essential PC, you'll know you're getting the best computer for the money, guaranteed. Call 1-800-GATEWAY and get a Gateway Essential PC with an Intel Celeron processor, a year of AOL, and now a free color printer for $999. That should take away the mystery.
You wouldn't think that 4 daughters would be tough on a lawn, but believe me, they are. In the spring of each year, I like to put down turf builder with halts. Put a preventative barrier down on the lawn to take care of the crabgrass. It never gets a chance to get started. See how nice and thick that is? I'm not only getting rid of the crabgrass, but I'm strengthening up the lawn. Scott's works better than anything else there's out there. There is no other brand, in my opinion. I got daughters, and I've got Scott's. I'm all set. There's no crabgrass here. Put down turf builder with halts. You see any crabgrass here?
And Messiah Capers hits another free throw for St. Bonaventure. It's a 1-point game and another timeout. Why not use them all?
Well, 55% free throw shooter. He is 2 of 2 standing right there. Another timeout. Good call.
But Kentucky is even in this position because of some very bad fouls.
Just a minute.
Kentucky is on a timeout, but John, like you said before going to break, Kentucky shouldn't even be in this position with some bad fouls.
Well, they're up 4. The missed shot by St. Bonaventure offensive rebound. Ball fake. They get 3 shots from the three-point deal. Then they get a 3-point play. Then they get another 3 shots.
Here's a senior. His team hasn't been to the tournament in 22 years. A chance to tie it. And ties! At 76.4 seconds remaining, Bogan's good if it goes. It doesn't. Double overtime.
Tubby's got to find some more players. He's only got 5 left that are playing. He's got to bring probably 2 more to help him out.
Welcome to the NCAA tournament.
He's got Zagatron. I'll exchange it.
Introducing emergency.
Senior, a 55% free throw shooter, hitting 3 consecutive free throws, John, to send this game to its second overtime.
Well, the emotion, the passion. Jim Barrett, how about the reaction? I love it.
He's feisty.
Oh,
he was the point guard for St. Bonaventure in their 77 NIT championship team, so he feels it. It runs through his veins, and he's back coaching at his alma mater.
And Kentucky has handed St. Bonaventure another overtime.
And
that game was over.
Yes. The Syracuse fans are absolutely going crazy because they'd like to see Kentucky lose, because the winner of this game would play the winner of the Syracuse game, which comes up right after this.
Yeah, Syracuse-Samford, which will be an outstanding game.
Samford, one of the best shooting teams in college basketball. Right off the bat, it goes to the Bonnies.
Suppose the Bonnies have a little motion now, a little energy. We'll see what they do this second overtime. Kentucky, we mentioned, they only have 9 players. 2 have fouled out. He's only played 7 total. So the 5 guys on the floor now are the only 5 that have played this afternoon.
In for 3, missed it all, and it sails out of bounds.
And Tim Wynn in this half has to be more of a distributor. He has really struggled his shooting. 1 of 8 from three-point land. So this second overtime, he's got to find teammates because he's got guys shooting it well.
But Johnny's been setting people up to 10 assists and 10 points.
And that's what he has to do. Don't rely on his three-point shot. Get everybody else. Get Bremer involved. Get Messiah Capers involved.
Saul Smith is checked out, fouled out of the game, and so Blevins is in there. Blevins, a sophomore from Edmonton, Kentucky, feeds it over to the freshman Bogans. McGlure is in. Kamara is fouled out for the Kentucky Wildcats. Shot clock now is down to 12 as Blevins faces Wynn and feeds to Bogans and looks inside for McGlure.
Gotta go.
And he works over Cyrus and hits it with a nice play.
And there's where McGlure has been such a good player his senior season. He's developed that little jump hook. If you don't double team him, he'll make you pay.
A minute gone in the second overtime. Kentucky, the 5th seed, leading St. Bonaventure, the 12th seed, 78-76.
We talked about overtimes being possession games. You want a good one every time you have the basketball.
Messiah Capers with some dancing inside, accelerating and stopping on a dime, and a foul, and all that juke and all that body movement drew a foul out of the Kentucky defense.
Well, surprising, Prince only picks up his first personal. There have been a lot of fouls called late in this ball game. Tayshaun, outstanding, we talked about earlier, 26 points, 6 rebounds. Got his ball club into the first overtime by the three-point shot he hit at the end of regulation.
The hero for the moment, David Messiah Capers and the St. Bonaventure team, knowing that at least one number 12 seed has advanced in each of the last 11 NCAA tournaments, including just last year, John, Southwest Missouri State over 5th seed Wisconsin, and Detroit, the 12th seed last year, over 5th seed UCLA.
And it's not like they don't advance further. I mean, Southwest Missouri State went to the Sweet 16. They've had 18 of the 12 seeds beat 5 in the last 15 years. 10 of those went to the Sweet 16. So it's not like it's a surprising deal.
Nice defense as Prince tried to call timeout. A turnover for Kentucky.
Well,
Blevins was caught up.
Right when Blevins was going to pass it, Prince turned his back, wanted to timeout. Didn't see the ball.
So usually the cool Cats, a team with the wealth of NCAA experience, turning it over. That's the first Kentucky turnover, though, in the last 10 minutes of play. And Messiah Capers drills another shot. And St. Bonaventure goes up 80-78.
Looks like he has a feeling that Tayshaun Prince can't check him one-on-one. He's taken him twice now.
Prince only has one foul. And there's Prince with the 5th-year senior. Messiah Capers on him, slithering inside, and then tapped up and in by freshman Marvin Stone.
If Prince or Bogans can put it on the floor and get it to the rim, there's going to have to be help defense. That allows Stone or McGlure to get to the rim. Offensive rebound.
We're tied at 80 in overtime number 2 from Cleveland in the Midwest region.
See if they go back to Messiah Capers. Off the screen down low, off the pinup. Here he comes off the weak side. Been good off the dribble.
Messiah Capers. On top now to Vidal Messiah. Win, shot clock at 5. Working on Blevins, launching a 3. Rebound by the freshman Stone.
There are times, Kevin, you get caught when the shot clock goes down. You've got to get into your offensive sets earlier, quicker, get to the play.
Then for Kentucky, Kamara has fouled out, as has the coach's son, Saul Smith. Blevins bumping and grinding with Wynn.
Be careful, 5 seconds.
Here's Bogan, shot clock down to 13. Working on Bremer, sliding inside and into the teeth of the St. Bonaventure defense, and a foul is called. As there were 3 bodies right there, and the foul here goes on Messiah for the 4th time. And coming up, we have Central Connecticut State against 2-seed Iowa State, with maybe the best single player in the tournament, Marcus Spicer of the Cyclones, the Big 12 regular season and postseason champions. Southeast Missouri State against LSU in a great wealth of basketball the rest of the day and deep into the night here on CBS. Bogans again's hit, and Bogans is now 9 of 13 from the free throw line and saved by St. Bonaventure.
Well, possessions again. Bonnies need a better one than they had last time.
Here's Messiah Capers, has the last 7 points for the Bonnies, launching a 3. Rebound reeled in by Blevins with a minute and a half to play in the second overtime.
Not the shot they wanted, Kevin, once again. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Messiah Capers not a deep three-point shooter. Good shooter, though, 42% from threes.
Blevins had it knocked away inside by Vidal Messiah. Screaming the other way, J.R. Bremer, and foul as he took it inside, and Prince was the one to belt him, and he picks up his second foul for the Wildcats.
Not sure. Tim Wynn might have gotten his hand on another basketball. Talked about his ability to steal, get his hands involved. Quick feet. Might have made a quick reach behind Blevins.
John, we told a great story before about this kid who grew up here in Cleveland, Ohio, from Cleveland Heights.
Played summer league basketball.
In this gym.
And, you know, has made an impact. When they were down this second half, big numbers, 13. He came in, gave him some energy, made some jump shots, put it on the floor, penetrated. 17 points this afternoon, 14 of them the second half.
2 of 4 from the free throw line, now 2 of 5, missing clutch free throws there, but saved
Well, the surprising thing, good rebound by Cyrus over the top of 6'10 McGlure and 6'10 Marvin Stone. Are they tired? That's the question.
Do you have anything left in the tank? Messiah Capers leads to Messiah. Under a minute to play. Wildcats lead by 1 in overtime number 2. Wynn working on Blevins. Takes him in. Got the fake. A seductive move, but the shot won't go. Stone tried to save it. Fell out of bounds.
2 seconds on the shot clock.
St. Bonaventure inbounding with 2 seconds to shoot. Kentucky did not save the ball.
Yeah, no possession.
Timeout taken. 47 seconds in overtime number 2, and fifth seed Kentucky leading by 1. Single timeout remaining. St. Bonaventure has 2. Kevin Harlan, John Sunbold, and 2 seconds on the shot clock with which to work for St. Bonaventure, and a timeout taken by the Bonnies. Now they've got 1 left, and Kentucky has 1 as Jim Barron, their coach, wants to talk things over on a very crucial inbound.
By Tubby Smith. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Switch all screens. Make them beat you outside. Don't get cut back door. Jim Barron saying if you do set a screen, roll to the basket. See if we can get an easy one.
2 seconds to shoot. 47 seconds to play in this double overtime, and it's blocked. Bremer's shot is blocked, and the shot clock violation, and it goes over to Kentucky. Each team with the timeout, and the Wildcats with the 1-point lead.
Well, they're checking the clock, but I don't know what the game clock was. I know there's 2 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense by Tayshaun Prince to come out and challenge the shooter.
Not going to change it. And some full-court pressure employed by the Bonnies. 40 seconds to play.
And Prince has to be valuable as a ball handler. Tim Wynn on Blevins is not a good matchup for this Wildcat team.
6'9", he is a pretty adept ball handler.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Bogans is the other guy. Take some pressure off Blevins. Let Blevins spot up in case they need an open jump shot.
Bogans has it now. A difference of 9 seconds. Game clock to shot clock. Bogans makes the move, working on Bremer, who falls. Lost it inside, and a whistle. Out of bounds, they say. 9 seconds to shoot. Kentucky will inbound. 18 seconds to play. Much to the chagrin of Jim Barron, the St. Bonaventure coach.
Yeah, interesting call. Couldn't tell from our angle.
Bogans gets it off to Prince. Again, Kentucky leads by 1. Shot clock at 5.
Good hands.
Knocked away by Messiah Capers. Picked up by Bogans with a great shot.
One of the first balls that have bounced Kentucky's way this second half.
Down by 3.
Now you can either foul early, but don't foul on the shot like they did at the end of overtime.
For the tie from Wynn. Can't get it to go. Prince holds on to it. Quickly fouled by Cyrus. With 1.1 seconds left on the clock, Kentucky leads by 3 and will shoot free throws at the other end.
And Tim Wynn had an opportunity. It has been a tough afternoon shooting the basketball. 1 of 10 from three-point land, but got a wide open look.
Wynn took 4 shots in the second overtime and did not hit. In the Chevrolet players of the game, J.R. Bremer from Cleveland with 17 points and 3 assists. Of St. Bonaventure, and Tayshaun Prince of Kentucky with a glittering 26.6 rebound performance.
Kevin, did you notice how far the Wildcats were from the guy shooting a 3? Huh?
They wouldn't be in this position had they not committed the silly fouls in the first overtime.
They had 2 fouls on 3-point shots in the last minute of the first overtime, which put St. Bonaventure on the free throw line, and they made all 6 of those free throws. And there was another 3-point play, traditional, mixed in that. This game should have been over a while ago. Kentucky's going to survive, and a big sigh of relief. What a great season for St. Bonaventure, Jim Barron, and the way their ball club came back this afternoon. Down 13 the second half. This whole crowd rallied them. Outstanding effort.
(84-80), second overtime. St. Bonaventure, first time in the NCAA tournament in 22 years as Tayshaun Prince puts it in. And the Kentucky Wildcats will advance. They say Cats have 9 lives. The Kentucky Wildcats have 8 left.
Survive and move on, right? And they did.
Survive and move on. A spectacular way to begin the NCAA tournament here at the Midwest region. And now Kentucky will advance to play Saturday against the winner of Syracuse-Samford. Now for Debbie Antonelli and John Sunbull. Kevin Harlan saying so long from Cleveland, Ohio. The final score in double overtime. 5th seeded Kentucky 85. Number 12, St. Bonaventure 80.
Greg Gumbel in New York. Hope you're enjoying the action so far. There is lots more to come. In fact, coming up next for you here on CBS, Central Connecticut State against Iowa State, 13th seed Southeast Missouri State against LSU, Dayton against Purdue, Samford and Syracuse will tip at 3:23. And for those of you waiting for that game, we'll get you started on CCSU against Iowa State and then get you to the tip of your game. All of that coming up right after this message and a word from your local station.
Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Chevrolet Trucks, Pepsi One, Delta Airlines, and by DirecTV.
Welcome back to the McHale Center. Game 2 from the West Region in Tucson. 6th-seeded Purdue out of the Big Ten against 11th-seeded Dayton out of the Atlantic 10. And the bracket, the winner of this game takes on Oklahoma. Winners today over Winthrop, Louisville, Gonzaga. Later on tonight, St. John's, Northern Arizona in the nightcap. Gus Johnson, Dan Bonner with you. The Atlantic 10 versus the Big Ten. This Dayton team, very dangerous, Dan, and they have a very impressive freshman playing for them.
A veteran team, but with a freshman like Brooks Hall. Outstanding statistics this year, a well-rounded player. You'd expect that from the gentleman who was Mr. Basketball in Ohio last year, a deadly three-point shooter. He's going to be an important factor today.
Meanwhile, for the Purdue Boilermakers, they're a veteran team, very tough and very gritty, and their leader, kid by the name of Citizen Payne.
Well, of course, you're talking about Brian Cardinal, and tough and gritty certainly describes him. Great stats again, but that doesn't begin to tell the story of Brian Cardinal. His effort, his enthusiasm, really contagious for this team. But let's not forget the fact that he is an excellent three-point shooter, an outstanding rebounder. There's more to him than just grit and hustle.
So Purdue 2-0 lifetime against Dayton. Coming up, it's Purdue and Dayton in Tucson. Welcome back to the desert, Tucson, Arizona. Site of first-round action in the West Region. Game number 2, 6th-seeded Purdue against 11th-seeded Dayton. Now let's join Beth Mowens, who's our sideline reporter.
Gus, ignorance is definitely not bliss for a coach who's only got about 48 hours to prepare for a first-round opponent he probably knows very little about. In fact, yesterday, Purdue coach Gene Cady was carrying around the Dayton media guide during their practice. He had it stuffed with the Flyers' tendencies and scouting reports. Cady says for any team playing a first-round game, the significant thing is that the team has to be able to convert into its game plan on very short notice. Gus?
All right, Beth, let's take a look at the lineups. Dayton on the left, Young with Stanley in the backcourt, Ashman, the 6'10", Hall and Green in the front court. Meanwhile, for Purdue, Cunningham and Cornell struggled in the Big Ten tournament against Wisconsin. They're in the backcourt with Smith, Robinson, and Brian Cardinal. Citizen Payne in the front court. The head coach for Dayton, Oliver Purnell, 6th year at Dayton, and he has led the Flyers to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1990. Meanwhile, Gene Cady on the other sideline, 20th year at Purdue. His Boilermakers advancing to back-to-back Sweet 16s. They lost last year in the East Regional semifinal against Temple, 77-55 in New Jersey. Once again, the bracket here in Tucson. Oklahoma advancing by defeating Winthrop, and Purdue and Dayton. Oklahoma ready for the winner of this one. Louisville, Gonzaga later on tonight. St. John's, Northern Arizona as well. Great atmosphere here at the McHale Center. Purdue Boilermakers out of the Big Ten. The Dayton Flyers out of the Atlantic 10. Dayton with a very rich history in college basketball. I remember when I was in high school watching a guy by the name of Roosevelt Chapman from New York. But they go even further back than that. And a look at the officials for this one. Jim Burr, the lead, Terry Moore, and Mike Woods.
Gus, keep in mind that the Dayton Flyers have a tremendous basketball tradition. They had 7 different guys named All-American in the 50s and 60s.
So Dayton in red, Purdue in white. They've met 2 times, both meeting, won by the Boilermakers in the NIT. So the toss and the tap, and it's controlled by Dayton. Edwin Young. And Hall guarded by Cornell. Stanley steps back. This one just underway from Tucson, Purdue, and Dayton. And immediately coming in a 6th seed, and Dayton an 11th seed.
And immediately Dayton gets the shot they want, the 3-pointer by the freshman Brooks Hall. But Oliver Purnell a little upset because not only did Hall miss the shot, but a great block out by Jerron Cornell resulted in a foul on Brooks Hall.
Purdue 21-9 overall, finished 12-4 in the Big Ten, but knocked out of the Big Ten tournament in the first round for the 2nd straight year this season by Wisconsin. And a turnover. Cornell unable to hold on. Stanley with a lot of pressure.
Dayton feels that they are quicker in the backcourt, and Gene Cady of Purdue knows that one of the problems with which Purdue has struggled this year is dealing with quickness in the opponent's backcourt. Dayton trying to put a lot of pressure on the ball to utilize that advantage.
Is Stanley averaging 14 on the year, guarded by the taller Mike Robinson. Stanley goes baseline, picks it up.
Stanley's a big kid, 6'4", 205 pounds at guard, is a nice size.
Now Young. Hall around the screen. 3 to shoot. Inside, Green slams it down with 2 hands. Now those of you expecting to see Sanford and Syracuse, tip time will be 3:23. Robinson to the basket, offensive, make it a blocking foul called against Dayton.
Mike Robinson's game is really going to the basket. The best part of Robinson's game is the 5-foot and in. He's the one guy on Purdue who can be very explosive from out on the perimeter, and Dayton tried to play him correctly. They just didn't get there in time, and Green picks up the foul.
Mike Robinson, senior from Peoria, Illinois, used to shoot the 3, but decided to give it up, and now is concentrated on his game in the paint.
And it's a good game in the paint. He's very effective, particularly when he's playing down in the low post.
A 65% free throw shooter, averaging 12 points per game. He's engaged to a young lady by the name of Michelle Duhart, who's the leading rebounder on the ladies' team.
And you were giving him a little bit of a hard time.
Oh, you had to.
Gets fewer rebounds than his fiance.
Missed a second. Brooks Hall with the rebound. So it's Hall, Young, Green, Ashman, and Stanley for Dayton. Finished the year 22-8. Young, tough shot inside. Brian Cardinal can't hold on. Saved by Edwin Young. Into the hands of Cardinal.
That's not the kind of shot that Dayton wants to get. You don't want to force him against Purdue.
Robinson. Inside.
And they were talking about Robinson and his effectiveness inside. You let him get that close to the basket, and you are really in trouble.
3-2, Purdue taking the lead over Dayton. Inside, knocked away, picked up by Green. Now Stanley. Ashman. And the stick back. Mark Ashman, the senior from St. Mary's, Ohio, but Jerron Cornell beats everybody down the floor.
Purdue did a great job getting the ball out of the net. Cardinal took it out of the net and tossed it down the court. I don't think Dayton expected that from the Boilermakers.
Young picks up his dribble. Green. And the weak side a rebound. Mike Robinson, and what a pace to start this.
Very, very quick pace. Purdue is not generally a team that you associate with up and down transition basketball. Generally, they like the half-court game.
Rodney Smith with the air ball.
And Cardinal just gave Gene Katie the eye sign. He's a little bit tired. He wants to come out of this game. Very important matchup going on. Rodney Smith battling against Ashman down on the inside, and Cunningham helps him out.
By Cunningham. And Cunningham, who's been in the shooting slump himself. Cardinal from deep.
That's a long, long three-point shot. The number 31 in white for Purdue, Rodney Smith, battling against Ashman inside. Smith considered to be the best Purdue post defender. They try to front and deny the ball down there, and they'd be well advised to keep it out of the hands of Ashman.
One-point game. Brooks Hall, recruited by virtually every team in the Big Ten Conference, elected to go to Dayton. 10 to shoot. Now Young off the dribble down the lane, and a whistle. Carson Cunningham, and that's what you talked about, and that's what Oliver Purnell talked about. The quickness from their guards to get in deep on Purdue.
And that's, again, Purdue told us that that's where they've had a problem this year, defending that